New York Jets. Jets fans are the embodiment of generational trauma. The team hasn't made the playoffs since 2010, the longest active drought in the NFL, and has had 14 head coaches and over 30 starting quarterbacks since their lone Super Bowl win in 1969. The Aaron Rodgers era began with 4 plays and an Achilles tear, which somehow felt inevitable. Yet despite it all, fans pack MetLife, chant JETS like a battle cry, and wear suffering like a badge. If loyalty earned Lombardis, Jets fans would have 12. Buffalo Bills. Bills Mafia is essentially a football cult. It's powered by table-smashing chaos and undying loyalty. After losing 4 straight Super Bowls from 1990 to 1993 and missing the playoffs 17 years in a row, they've now made 5 postseason appearances in the last 6 years. Josh Allen has thrown for over 18,000 yards and 138 touchdowns since 2020, but playoff heartbreak still haunts them, especially that 13 seconds game in 2021. Fans brave snowstorms, cold, and crushing disappointment just to scream their hearts out at Highmark Stadium. No one does pain with more pride than the Buffalo Bills. Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs fans went from long suffering to living dynasty in record time. Before Patrick Mahomes arrived, the franchise had gone 50 years without a Super Bowl. Now they've won 3, 2019, 2022, 2023, and hosted 6 straight AFC Championship games. Mahomes has already thrown for 28,000 plus yards and 219 touchdowns in his first 100 games, both NFL records. Arrowhead Stadium regularly tops 140 decibels, and home games feel more like religious events than sporting ones. Success hasn't made them cocky, okay, maybe a little, but it's well earned. Cleveland Browns. Browns fans are trauma bonded through decades of failure. Since their 1999 return, they've gone through 35 quarterbacks, 12 head coaches, and just 2 playoff appearances. Their 0-16 season in 2017 still stings, and the Deshaun Watson trade split the fanbase down the middle. But the dog pound still barks through it all. From -10-degree snow games, the late season collapses. 1 playoff win since 1994, and they still show up like it's the Super Bowl every week. Detroit Lions. Lions fans are hardened by history. No Super Bowl appearances, 1 playoff win since 1957, and a parade of wasted Hall of Famers like Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson. They endured an 0-16 season in 2008 and 12 more losing seasons since. But in 2023, the team went 12-5 and won 2 playoff games, the first in over 30 years. Ford Field became a party, and for once, the city had a team worth screaming for. They've been kicked so many times, they forgot what winning felt like. Now, they just don't want to let it go. New England Patriots. Patriots fans experienced the ultimate football high. 6 Super Bowls, 20 straight winning seasons, and a 219-64 record from 2001 to 2019. Tom Brady left and won another ring elsewhere. Belichick stayed and went 29-38 in the 4 seasons after. Now they're learning what it's like to not be the villain, and they don't love it. The entitlement is still there, but the rings back it up. Even at 4-13, many still believe they're only 1 move away, even if they're not. Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys fans have waited 28 years for an NFC Championship appearance. Despite having the league's most valuable franchise, $9 billion, and 5 Super Bowl titles. Every year is their year, and every January ends up with an implosion that once again proves it was not their year. Dak Prescott's playoff record, 2-5. Still, AT&T Stadium fills with over 90,000 fans weekly, and the brand power is unmatched. Love them or loathe them, the fans believe, and that belief survives anything short of a collapse on national TV, which happens a lot. Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles fans are fierce, passionate, and sometimes terrifying. They once booed Santa, threw snowballs at players, and jail cells used to be built into Veterans Stadium. But they finally got their ring in 2017. And now they're louder, prouder, and more annoying than ever. Their team has made the playoffs 6 of the last 7 years, and their fans will let you know. With yelling memes and green face paint, underdogs no more, yet still as rabid as ever. Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders fans are defined by chaos, just like their franchise. The team has moved 3 times, Oakland to LA and then Oakland to Vegas, had 13 head coaches since 2000, and 1 playoff win in the last 20 years. But the black hole never blinks. Win or lose, mostly lose, these fans show up in spiked shoulder pads and paint, ready to scream no matter what. The team may not be consistent, but the fans never miss. Green Bay Packers. Packers fans are the only ones who could claim real ownership in the team, literally through public stock, and they treat Lambeau Field accordingly. After 30 years of Hall of Fame QB play, they're hoping Jordan Love can keep it rolling. The team has made the playoffs 23 times since 1993 and won 2 Super Bowls in that stretch. When things go bad, fans get dramatic, but also extremely loud. Frozen bleachers and bratwurst in hand, they live for football. Chicago Bears. Bears fans love defense, tradition, and mostly suffering. The franchise hasn't had a 4,000-yard passer ever, and still clings to 1985 like it happened yesterday. Since 2000, they made just 5 playoff appearances and won 3 postseason games. Soldier Field stays packed, but hope runs thin. They've seen just about every way to lose, and somehow they're still finding new ways. Miami Dolphins. Dolphins fans hang their hat on the NFL's only perfect season in 1972. Since 2000, they made the playoffs 5 times and haven't won a postseason game in 24 years. They love flash, Tyreek Hill, Dan Marino, those teal throwbacks, but hate cold weather games. When Tua's healthy, it's all excitement. When he's not, which is often, it's back to sadness and sunscreen. Minnesota Vikings. Vikings fans have endured 4 Super Bowl losses, a missed 27-yard field goal in the playoffs, and a revolving door of almost seasons for decades. Since 2000, they've made the playoffs 9 times and exited in heartbreak more often than not. The Minneapolis Miracle was real, but so was the blowout that followed. They expect heartbreak like it's a tradition, but still, they skull. San Francisco 49ers. 49ers fans expect trophies because they've seen 5 of them. Since 2011, they made the NFC Championship game 6 times, but lost 4. Kyle Shanahan has built a powerhouse, and the fanbase knows they're close, but they want rings, not close calls. Candlestick to levies, the loyalty is strong. Just don't mention 2012, 2013, 2019, or 2023 to any of their fans. Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers fans are spoiled by consistency. 3 coaches since 1969, 6 Super Bowls, and 0 losing seasons since 2003, which they never let you down in letting you know. But they're getting restless. It's been over 10 years since their last playoff win. The terrible towels still fly, and the black and gold runs deep nationwide. They expect wins, defense, and a little drama, and anything less is a betrayal of the brand. Baltimore Ravens. Ravens fans are a blend of swagger, grit, and playoff PTSD. They've won 2 Super Bowls and made the playoffs 15 times since 2000, but haven't been to an AFC Championship game since 2012. Lamar Jackson is the superstar, but postseason consistency still eludes him. They hate the Steelers with their entire soul, and they love being doubted. It fuels them. Atlanta Falcons. Falcons fans carry 28-3 like a scar that never healed. They made the playoffs just twice since that collapse in 2016, and still haven't won a title. Attendance is spotty, belief is cautious, and the trauma runs deep. They've had stars, Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, Michael Vick, but never closure. And they know that one lead, that one night, will haunt them forever. Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers fans are few, but passionate. The team moved from San Diego to LA in 2017 and has made the playoffs just twice since. They lost a 27-point lead to the Jaguars in 2022, adding another chapter to their heartbreak legacy. Justin Herbert gives them hope, but so did Rivers and Tomlinson. They're used to great players, but tragic endings. Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks fans, aka the 12s, made Lumen Field famous for breaking sound records, literally. The team has made the playoffs 10 times since 2010, including a Super Bowl win and the most infamous play call in NFL history. Post Legion of Boom, the passion remains. Rain or shine, they bring it. Just never mention pass first run inside the 5. Los Angeles Rams. Rams fans are part Hollywood, part transplant, and part confused. The team has moved multiple times and won a Super Bowl in 2021, but now plays in a stadium that often feels like an Airbnb. When they're good, the stars show up. When they're not, it's just another LA Sunday. Still, the fan base is growing, just slowly. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucs fans went from 0-26 to Super Bowl champs twice. Before Brady, they had 1 playoff win in 18 years. With Brady, they won 29 games in 3 seasons and a title. Now Baker Mayfield is their guy, and fans are skeptical, but they still fill Raymond James, cannons, and all. Indianapolis Colts. Colts fans enjoyed 20 years of elite QB play. Then Luck retired, and it all fell apart. They started 6 different quarterbacks since 2019 and haven't made the playoffs since 2020. Anthony Richardson is the new hope, but he's raw. The fan base is patient for now, but they remember what greatness looks like, and they want it back. Tennessee Titans. Titans fans remember coming 1 yard short in Super Bowl 34 like it was yesterday. Since then, they made the playoffs 10 times, including a number 1 seed in 2021, but lost. They love power football and will miss Derrick Henry like family. Their energy is quiet, steady, and underrated. Don't sleep on them because they never forget. New York Giants. Giants fans live off beating Tom Brady in 2 Super Bowls. Since then, 1 playoff win and a lot of pain. Daniel Jones is Daniel Jones. The loyalty is deep, but the patience is thinner every year. Still, nothing bonds a fan base like ruining perfection twice. Carolina Panthers. Panthers fans are tired of rebuilding. Since losing Super Bowl 50 in 2015, they've had 6 different starting QBs and 5 head coaches. Bryce Young was supposed to be that guy, but 2023 raised more questions than answers. The fan base is small but loud, especially in Charlotte. They just want one franchise QB who doesn't get benched by week 10. Washington Commanders. Commanders fans survived Dan Snyder. That alone deserves a trophy. They made the playoffs 6 times in 25 years and still pack FedEx Field when it doesn't fall apart. Jaden Daniels brings hope, but so did RG3. Now they're dreaming cautiously for once. The nightmare might be over. Jacksonville Jaguars. Jags fans are weird, loud, and criminally underrated. Since 1995, they made the playoffs 8 times, including a 27-point comeback win in 2022. Trevor Lawrence is legit, kinda, and Doug Peterson knows how to win. Fans wear teal like war paint. Even if they're the league's most ignored franchise, that might be changing. Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals fans are loyal but tired. The team hasn't won a title since 1947, and it's just 1 Super Bowl appearance, a heartbreaking loss in 2008. Kyler Murray is talented but fragile, and the front office hits reset more than a toddler playing Madden. The stadium's half full, but the hearts are real. They want to matter, they just need a reason. Houston Texans. Texans fans finally have a reason to cheer. After 20 years of irrelevance and dysfunction, CJ Stroud threw for 4,108 yards and 23 touchdowns in 2023 and led them to a playoff win. D'Amico Ryans has turned the culture around, and fans are noticing. The energy is back. For once, hope isn't hypothetical, it's happening. New Orleans Saints. Saints fans party harder than anyone, especially when they win. They waited decades for a Super Bowl, then partied through Katrina and beyond. They still haven't forgiven the 2018 no call, and they still hate the Falcons. They're emotional, intense, and incredibly loud inside the Superdome. Win or lose, they always bring the vibe. Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals fans spent 31 years without a playoff win, the longest drought in NFL history, before Joe Burrow walked in and completely flipped the script. Since 2021, they've made 2 AFC Championship appearances and a Super Bowl run, with Burrow throwing for over 11,000 yards and 82 touchdowns in that stretch. The fans went from long-suffering punchline to confident contenders almost overnight. They packed Paycor Stadium with tiger stripes and swagger, and suddenly, Cincinnati believes it's one of those teams now. Just remember, the scars are still there, they just wear them under the Burrow jerseys now. Denver Broncos. Broncos fans have 3 Super Bowls to their name and mile-high expectations to match. But since Peyton Manning retired in 2015, they've cycled through 12 different starting quarterbacks and 0 playoff appearances. The Russell Wilson trade was a disaster. The Nathaniel Hackett era was worse. And yet the fans still pack Empower Field at altitude. They know what greatness looks like. Elway, Peyton Manning, Von Miller. They're desperate to find it again. Being a Broncos fan means frustration, but also loyalty and a whole lot of remember when. Thanks for watching Football for Dummies. Stick with us and watch this next video, which YouTube thinks you'll love.